Okay, the Honda CB1000GT. I honestly think this is going to be the sports touring motorcycle of 2026. And I actually think possibly it might be the bike that sort of comes in at the radar and could be one of the bikes of 2026. Not the most exciting, exotic motorcycle around, but in terms of everyday use and capability and riding fun, I think this is going to be a really, really special bike. I'm going to read you quickly off of Honda's media kit on their website what their brief was for the bike. In creating the CB1000GT, the goal for Honda's development engineers was simple. Take the stunning CB1000 Hornet, which the CB1000 Hornet is stunning at a really good price range as well, and turn it into a sports tourer with increased comfort, range, and class-leading performance. Not a bad brief for a motorcycle. So in today's video, I'm going to quickly go over the specs of the CB1000GT. Then I'm going to go into what you're getting as standard on the CB1000GT, because it's quite impressive, especially in the price range. And then I'm going to compare it to its main competition in the segment. And you can let me know what you think, but the figures speak for themselves. I think the CB1000GT is going to be quite a special bike for 2026. Okay, let's rattle off the specs quickly. So start with the price. £11,999, so basically 12 grand. I'm just going to rattle everything off. We'll go into comparing it a bit later and explain why these figures are quite good. The engine, it's an inline 4-cylinder with 148 horsepower and 102 Newton meters of torque. So the engine is exactly the same engine from the CB1000 Hornet, but Honda have slightly retuned it. It's a tiny bit less power, but not much less at all. They've retuned it for a bit of more mid-range torque and a smoother throttle delivery, just making it sort of a little bit less tiring and more comfortable for those touring miles. Okay, so front suspension. Showa 41mm upside down forks with 130mm of travel, electrically controlled with a manual preload adjustability. Rear suspension is Showa with 140mm of travel, which is electric preload adjustable. Okay, brakes. Front brakes, you have two 310mm discs with 4-piston Nissin radially mounted calipers. Rear brakes, you have a single 240mm disc with a single piston Nissin caliper. Wet weight, 229 kilograms, so not the lightest bike in the market, but not the heaviest. It's somewhere in the middle. Seat height is 825mm. That's actually quite low for a sports tourer, so that's interesting. Maybe more accessible to more people, maybe slightly more sports focused riding position. We shall see. Fuel tank, 21 litre fuel tank. So look, it's not a big adventure bike, it's not a 30 litre fuel tank, it's 21, but it's plenty for touring and doing long legs on for those longer trips. Okay, last thing for the specs, and I'm going to get onto the interesting, what you're getting as standard on this bike. It's incredible. Right, colours. So you get Grand Prix Red, Purple Deep Mud Grey. Bit of a strange name. But actually it's quite a classy looking colour. I quite like that colour. My favourite colour personally is the Graphite Black, all black. I think it looks really cool in all black. Now quickly, this is not a beautiful looking motorcycle in my opinion. I like cruisers, the retro, modern retro classics all just look stunning to me. Sports tourers and adventure bikes I don't find pretty personally. I'm sure some people do, but for a sports tourer, I don't think this is a bad looking one. I think it's on par, to be honest, with its competition looks wise. Okay, what are you getting as standard on the CB1000GT? So for $11,999, bearing in mind you're getting that engine with nearly 150 horsepower and 102 Newton meters of torque. As standard equipment, you're getting a 5-way, excuse me, I'm going to be reading a list here. If I keep on looking down, just got to be done, I can't remember all of it. You're getting a 5-way adjustable screen. That's not to be overlooked. It's really handy, I find personally, having an adjustable, very adjustable windscreen on a tourer or an adventure bike. Find it makes a big difference. Rear panniers, standard, so that's 2. Cruise control, heated grips, knuckle guards, not a biggie, but nice to have. Center stand, very important. Quick shifter, definitely want one of those. You're getting a 6-axis IMU with cornering, traction control and ABS, with rider modes, ride-by-wire as standard, sport, rain, tour and user. And then last but not least, you're also getting a full colour 5-inch TFT screen. So as standard, included in that already really good price, we'll go into competition in a bit, show you why the price is so good, so stay for that. But you're really getting, I can't think of much more I would want to add to the bike, and Honda are giving it to you already as standard, so that's really good value for money, included in a very nicely priced motorcycle so far. Okay, right, let's move on to, I think, the most important and eye-opening facts. Let's move on to the competition for the CB1000 GT. So the first is the Suzuki GSX S1000GX. The price is £13,799, so nearly £2,000 more than the Honda. The engine, it's an inline 4-cylinder 999, so basically 1000cc 4-cylinder with 150 horsepower and 106 Newton meters of torque. So it's got a tiny bit more power than the Honda's powertrain, but it's really not a lot, and those figures, I do not think you would notice a difference in power there. A lovely motor in the Suzuki though. Taking weight into consideration, the Suzuki is 232 kilograms wet weight, where the Honda is 229. So the Honda's a tiny bit lighter, so maybe that will offset the power difference there by a tiny bit. Here's the big point. As standard on the Suzuki, bearing in mind it's £2,000 more than the Honda, you're not getting heated grips, panniers, or a center stand. Now, all of which I would definitely want on my practical sports tourer. Heated grips, no doubt. Panniers, 100% if you're going away on a longer trip, you want to put something in take something with you, unless you just travel just in your motorbike gear and sleep in your motorbike gear, then fair enough, but I quite want some panniers. Center stand, so useful, especially on a sports tour, or lubing the chain maintenance, things like that. It's just very useful. So I'm giving it to the Honda, just out of specs so far. Okay, next competition. Now this is quite an interesting one actually. I'm just sticking with these 2 bikes for the competition. There's more, but these are the 2 main ones that are very similar to the Honda in specs. So the next one is, excuse the positioning, I've just changed up the scene here to make it a bit more interesting for you guys. Got a little cat grooming himself behind me. Go for it. So, sorry. The next bike is the Yamaha Tracer 9 GT. Coming in at $13,954, so this is even more expensive than the Suzuki. So this genuinely is £2,000 more, 40 quid, but £2,000 more than the Honda. The engine, triple engine, 890cc, so it's less powerful. It's a great engine for the road. It's got 117 horsepower and 93 Newton meters of torque. It really is a great engine for the road, but that's way down on power compared to the Honda. And the Honda being an inline 4-cylinder, it's a really special engine. So the Honda just blows it away on performance there. The thing where the Tracer claws it back a bit is the Tracer is very well spec'd for standard. You're getting your quick shifter, heated grips, you've got a bigger 7-inch color TFT screen, a fully more adjustable electric windscreen. It's really good, the Tracer, for a sports tourer. However, you don't get the only thing you don't get as standard on the Tracer is a center stand. So the Honda's done it again for specs wise, even £2,000 cheaper and a much more powerful engine. It's beaten the Yamaha Tracer, I personally think, as well. Okay guys, so not the most exotic, exciting bikes, sports tourers. However, in real world use, I really think they're the sweet spot. It's basically the in-between of an adventure bike and a sports bike, which is really perfect if you're riding a lot, traveling a lot on your bike. Use it all year round, all different types of weather. You've got the wind protection, you've got the performance, you've got the agility, you've got the practicality with the panniers, heated grips, knuckle guards, comfortable riding position. They're really sweet spot bikes. Now I genuinely think this Honda, I'm going to say it again, at 12 grand, 11,999, it's like an all-in-one package with serious performance, 150 horsepower. That's not mental, which is a good thing. I don't want a mental bike, but that's a quick bike. I think this is a genuinely fantastic package. Well done, Honda, on the good price as well. Yeah, cannot wait to ride it. I actually believe the rest of the serious press are out there. Not serious, I try to be serious, but press are out there riding it at the moment in Benidorm, I think. Probably up to a couple more things in Benidorm as well, but yeah, I'm sure they're enjoying it, and I look to get a ride as soon as possible. Don't worry, guys. I haven't ridden a bike in a while, but I am going to get on one soon, so stay tuned. I'm just doing these initial reviews at the moment. Many thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed the video, and see you in the next one. Ciao Bella.